late last year, I drew a line in the sand and reached out to you, and here we are.
Yeah.
So it's like,
awesome.
I think just over 6 weeks. So under 7 weeks, I lost 20 pounds, which was a bit mind blowing for me.
Awesome. Okay. So tell us about that. Like, so 20 pounds in like just under 7 weeks, mind blowing. Why? Like, what's been your experience before with weight loss? I know you've had kind of some journey with it, but tell us about what that's looked like for you.
Yeah, so I did, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm like, you know, most people, I've done all the things. So, you know, from keto to Weight Watchers to, you know, the meals that you get delivered to your house, and just anything and everything. And then intermittent fasting, you know, just trying to get it all together. And it would last a couple of days, basically, or, you know, I'd be lucky if I'd last a week on most things. And I could never stay focused enough, or I was never I guess it was a matter of never being committed enough. I don't know. I just couldn't make it work. And then it would be to the point where I would go the opposite way. So I'd say, okay, right, I'm going to lose the weight. I might do something for a week or so, and then I would just go crazy and just binge. When I went off that, it was just ridiculous. And the weight was gradual. So I went from a size 10 to a 12, and that was okay. I went from a 12 to a 14, and that was tolerable. And then I went from a 14 to a 16, and I was like, where's that going to end? And it was just that was it. And I think it was taking that really solid decision of, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to be self-integral. I'm going to commit and keep my word to myself, which has probably been one of the biggest things that's come out of this whole, besides the weight loss, there's been some really big changes in who I am and how I be in the world when it comes to what I'm eating and how I'm, you know, living day to day. So, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That's huge. I mean, I think I always call it breaking contracts or keeping contract. If we say we're going to do it, we do it. And that's huge. I mean, that's the key thing for all success. So, okay, cool. So previous experience was tried a bunch of stuff, never really saw anything, couldn't stick with it. Then we jump into the program, obviously, and some trepidation there to get in. It's like, okay, Jared, is this really gonna do it? So tell me
I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
I didn't, let's be honest. I didn't
That's
believe
okay.
you.
Most people don't. I think if you were to watch any one of these with any person that we've ever talked to, which at this point it's been a lot, I think almost every person goes, wait a second, I didn't believe you. There's no way that I could have seen the results that I saw until I saw them. So tell me what's been different for you. Like, as you've gone through the last 6 or 7 weeks, obviously we still have time together and we're still going through the process, but the last 7 weeks, basically, what's been different than before? I know obviously mentally, I think you're probably in a different place to commit, but what's been different about the process, the results, the program that not only to help see the change, but that also may help you stay the course and keep the weight off, right? Because that 90% of weight loss is keeping it off, right? So what's been different for you so far?
Well, I think, the first thing was that I just made that, you know, really strong decision. And when I made that decision, I sort of turned around to my husband and said, this is what I'm doing. And it would have been really easy to wait until the new year, because I think we started at the end of November. But I was really keen to get started then, because I just didn't want to play into that whole, oh, it's New Year and I'm going to, you know, doing this resolution thing. So we started, and I said to my husband, this is what I'm doing. And he just went, great, I'm doing it too. And he was just so on board. And there would be times where I would be like, you know, I'm hungry, or I can't do this or whatever. And he was such a great support. And then I would get on the phone with you, and you would be a great support. So I just felt really, held during the entire thing. You know, just to keep going, tracking it, you know, on my phone, tracking my weight loss, actually seeing the weight loss was obviously a really big motivator. And I had this story and I don't know if other women, you know, my age have it, but I turned 50 last year, and I was like, oh, well, it's hard for women my age to lose weight. And like all those stories, the perimenopausal and blah, 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 and so it might work for other people, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. And when I saw it working consistently, I was like, oh, okay, so this actually does work. He was right. So yeah. So that was the thing. It was a decision. It was a commitment. It was getting my husband on board, and then just doing it, like, just sticking with it. And if I ever had a slip, which really wasn't often, except for Christmas and New Year, I'll just get straight back in. And, that's what I'm still doing now.
Yeah. Awesome. Which I want you to share what you shared with me before we started this live. As you've gone through these last couple of weeks, because it's like January 12th today, or 13th, I guess, for you maybe. So we're on different time zones.
Yeah, we are.
So over the holidays though, like you've gotten off a little bit, that kind of thing. Obviously you're in a different mental space, which has been awesome. But what's been the results the last few weeks as you have gone through the holidays?
I think I put on, I don't know, maybe a couple of pounds or something. I can't, I still think in kilos. So because I'm on the metric system. So I think I put on a kilo or something like that over the Christmas period, over Christmas and New Year. But then it just came straight back off again. Like I just kind of went back to, the plan and eating, what I was eating, and it just came off. So I wasn't really stressed about it. I didn't want to sit there and just have a salad on Christmas Day and, not enjoy myself. So I didn't go crazy, but I certainly, I enjoyed myself. I had a couple of drinks and I ate some dessert. And yeah, it was no big deal. And I had I was catching up with friends, and I had, Christmas parties and stuff. So it wasn't just those 2 days. It was a few days in between where I was like, oh, eating, more than I probably should have. But it felt like no big deal, even though I did probably put on a couple of pounds. It just really came off so easily. And it was just nothing. It was just a blip, and it was an enjoyable blip. So I just let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I think sometimes it's easy just to go, oh, I put on a couple of pounds, and so then I'm just going to keep on eating. That's probably what old me would have done.
Yeah.
What the hell? Let's just keep going.
Might as well wait till next week or the new year, whatever.
Yeah. Wait till New Year. Yeah. But no, we didn't do that. And having your support and having my husband do it alongside me was just, it was much easier just to kind of fall back into, the regular way that I want to keep eating, going forward.
Yeah. Which I think is key. And I think it's huge. Like, I remember like we obviously were talking throughout this whole process, and you had a party. This was at the beginning. You were like, okay, how am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to navigate?
I was scared.
You were scared. Yeah. And I just said, don't worry about it. Like, just go be in control, make a choice. And it's not a big deal. Like, we're just going to keep you moving forward. And, that was like 3 weeks ago or whatever. And at that point, I think we were only down like whatever, 16 or 17 pounds or something. I can't remember, 50. And then we're, down even a little bit more, and we're on our way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was nothing. And I think I messaged you the day after that party, because I had dessert and I had a cocktail, and I was kind of a bit sick, like in my stomach, like that night. It was like a shock to my system. So I was like, oh, okay, I see now that, when you eat really well and clean, then what happens when you suddenly introduce these things and your body just goes, hey, what's going on? So it was good to experience that, and to know, that's not, and before I may have felt that way, and I would have just done it and just kept eating that way, and not listened to my body. So there's been so many insights over this period, over this 6-7 week period. It's just been an amazing journey, really. It sounds cliched, but it has been quite amazing. Observing my thoughts, observing myself, all of those kind of things. Been great.
Yeah, awesome. Tell us maybe, obviously don't just share all the deep, dark emotions and things, but what are maybe like 1 or 2 of those big insights you've seen that have been like something you feel like has made a difference in your ability to lose the weight, but also, again, that you can carry forward to keep the weight off?
Well, I mean, initially I was like, I was quite angry. It was like, now that I look back at, like, I was just angry that I had to do this. I was pissed off. I just really just wanted to I wanted to be, but I had always been, up until the age of 40, a person who could eat whatever they wanted. That's probably very common for a lot of people. Whatever. It didn't really matter. And I never put on any weight. And then after 40, it just seemed to pile on. So I was kind of at that point where I was just angry. Like, why couldn't I be like 30-year-old me who could just eat whatever she wanted and not put any weight on? So there was that. I found not having breakfast probably to be the biggest struggle. And I know you and I talked about this, and perhaps it really was just an emotional thing or a way to start my morning, or a routine or a habit that I was in. So just kind of breaking that down and looking at that. What is that all about? Why am I freaking out over breakfast so badly and it's ruining my day? My husband would ring me after 12 because if he rang me before that, I would probably yell at him down the phone. So just all of these little things. It was like, now that I look back, I just go, oh, it was just that reset of like who I've been and who I want to be, going forward. And, what a brat she was, having being angry about, something so silly. But yeah, and just coming out of that the other side. And yeah, it's been really good. And obviously, as I mentioned, keeping my word to myself, sticking to what I said I was going to do, eating what I had to eat without having to then, go into the fridge for more food, or stacking mindlessly, all of those kind of things. That's probably been the biggest eye openers.
Yeah, huge. One of my favorite statements I always say, and is really, you've got to get, in order to lose the weight and do it permanently, you've got to get physically healthy and mentally. You got to dive into those, like, why do I go to the fridge all day long? Or why do I do this? Or why is this so important to me? Why is, if we don't dive into that emotional side of it, and it's going to, we're never going to overcome. And then when you get past it and you get outside of it, you go, oh, I had to reset physically and emotionally, and now I'm in a different place, even in a 7-week period. And you look back 7 years later and you go, I'm in a much better place even then, because you kind of pull out of it once you've gone through it, and you can kind of reset that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So very cool. Now, I always call it the fun stuff. Tell us about your experience and what you've seen as far as results. I mean, obviously we're down 20 pounds. Tell us about some of the other things you've noticed as you've gone through the last 7 weeks.
Yeah. So I think the first 5, I don't know when I reached out to you. Maybe it was around the 10-pound mark where I reached out to you and I said, I don't feel any different. I don't look any different. Feels not the right word. I don't, like, none of my clothes feel any different. I don't look any different. I think I said to my mum, I've lost 10 pounds. And she just went, oh, have you? And I just went, like, why am I losing weight on the scales, but I don't look? And you said, just hang on. Once you get to 15 to 20 pounds, it'll really show. So then 20 pounds, now my jeans are feeling looser. And when people see me who haven't seen me for a little while, they go, oh my God, you've lost so much weight. And so that's been amazing. So it took getting to about that 15-pound mark for it to really start to show. And I had lunch with a friend on Friday, and she said, your face looks like it's just released, a lot of, I don't know, a lot of stress and a lot of weight and whatever. It just, your face looks really different. So, like, now that other people are starting to notice, I can notice in my clothes, that's like, it all so worthwhile. Although that sounds like I went through torture to get here, it really wasn't. But yeah, it's been worthwhile. And it's been it's been great. So I'm really pleased. But I know, I've still got probably another 14, 15 pounds to go to get to my ideal weight. But it's like, now I don't. I think in the beginning I was thinking, oh gosh, I've got such a long way to go, and that's how I was viewing it. It's like I was at the bottom of the mountain, and it just looks so far away. But now that I'm over halfway up there, I'm like, oh yeah, I can get there, no problem. So yeah, it's
awesome.
Cool.
Which is so cool, because so many times people well, even in the beginning, you're like, I don't believe you. It's possible. People have two goals. They have I'd be happy with my weight, and then the real goal. And it's usually like, 15 to 20 pound different goal. And then once you do it and you're like, oh yeah, like totally, I've done that. I can do it again, and I can get wherever I want. And the cool thing is, just as we were talking before, is we can even keep it off and enjoy cake and enjoy, whatever it is that we want to be able to have, in its time and its place. But that's the beauty, is it really can. It's kind of like you just do the right things every day. You just keep doing those right things, like we do with our teeth, brushing our teeth, or our businesses, or whatever it is. And it will get there. As long as you have obviously the right systems in place and the right, thing, you're doing the right things, then it's going to work. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
That is huge. The confidence in knowing, I got this, I can do this.
Yeah, got this. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
easy.
Huge. Yeah. Easy. I like it. So very cool. And I mean, as far as like other things, have you seen any change, like mentally, with your business, energy levels, any of that change for you as you've gone through the last 7 weeks?
Definitely energy. Definitely energy. I have, and I think I spoke to you about this, during my cycles, I get a lot of headaches, to the point where I like take ibuprofen and it doesn't help, and that can go on for like several days, and I've had nothing. Which is like, and this has been going on for years. And again, it was just like, oh, it's just my age. It's just hormones. It's just something that I just put up with. So clearly, having that inflammation, maybe it was the sugar was the trigger. I don't know what was causing it, but it's like gone. So that's been amazing. Energy levels for sure. Because I would be, just walking around, very fatigued. I sleep better. And I used to wake up in the middle of the night feeling fat. Isn't that like such a strange thing to wake up feeling? Even though I'd just be lying in bed, but I'd wake up at 3 a.m. I just got to lose weight. I feel so fat. And this would go on and on and on. And like now I just sleep really well. Just all sorts of things. It's just in general, it's just feeling good all round. But just as you said, the confidence that it gives you, not just because you look better, but because you know that you can do, what you set your mind to. And it's not just, for me, it was always business. I can do whatever I set my mind to when it comes to my business, but I could never do it with my health. So now I know that I can do that. And it just gives you that added confidence. So it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's huge I know a lot of business owners are like, I crush it in business, but in my health, that's the area, right? And to be able to get everything in line and know that I can do this anywhere I want. And that's huge. So awesome.
Yeah. And that food doesn't control me. Like I think for a long time I was controlled by food. I was at the mercy of whatever emotion I was experiencing, and then that would be, eased or comforted or whatever with food. And I don't feel that is me anymore. So yeah.
Awesome. That's huge, Sylvia. Congrats. I mean, that is something that is like life-changing, mind-blowing, right? Like it's amazing. So very cool. That's exciting. Super excited for you. And of course, for the progress that will continue to come, right? The longer we get our bodies healthier, the better we feel. Of course, we'll drop a few more pounds and do that, but I'm excited for you. So very cool. Now, if someone's watching this and they're like, well, is it for me? Is it going to work? Maybe they're like on the fence a little bit. What do you say to someone like that who's like, I don't know, Sylvia did it, but like kind of thinking about doing it, but even unsure?
Yeah, I think that if I can do it, then I think anybody can do it, because I came into it with massive doubt, with all the stories of why it wasn't going to work. Even though I'd made the decision that I really wanted it, I really in the back of my head was thinking, oh, I don't, this is probably just going to be one of those things that works for other people but doesn't work for me. So I think that for sure, it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter, if you decide and you go ahead with this, and you just hold that vision, and you've got the support, with Jared, then you can do it for sure. And you should do it, because what are we without our health? I mean, like as you said, we're all crushing it in business. We're all doing these things, and making money, doing clients, and blah, blah, blah. All of that could go tomorrow if your health is it suffers. And I don't want to, I don't want to go through my 50s and then my 60s, etc., in poor health. This is the most important thing. So do it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it. I agree. Right?
Yeah.
Our health is everything.
Yeah.
When we get our health first, everything else follows, and it can be a beautiful thing in our lives. So I think you're
right. I think most people wait till there's something wrong with their health in order to fix it, and you don't need to do that. You can, you can get your body and your health in optimal shape, so that you don't have to combat something later on.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's easier to prevent than try to fix when something's happened, for sure. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sylvia, I appreciate those words, and it's been a pleasure thus far. Of course, we're still working together, and but appreciate the opportunity I've had to work with you and be part of your journey, and also for you being willing to come on and share your story with us. So appreciate you sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. So if anyone's sitting on the fence, just do it. No more procrastination. Just do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Great words. So, okay. Well, thank you, Sylvia. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay.